afternoon, everybody. This is the Planning and Zoning Commission of the City of Socorro, Texas. It is June 4th, 2024, 5:30 p.m. We call this meeting to order.
Good afternoon, all. We continue item number 2, establishment of quorum. Andrew Arroyos,
Here.
Enrique Cisneros. Thank you. David Estrada. Julie Dominguez.
Here.
Osvaldo Reza.
Here.
Yolanda Rodriguez.
Here.
We have quorum with 6 commissioners present. Item number 3, notice to the public open forum. Alfredo, do we have anyone that would like to speak?
No, not at the moment.
Thank you. Item number 4, consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Do I hear a second? Thank you. I have a motion made by Andrew Arroyos to approve, seconded by Osvaldo Reza. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any nays? Anyone abstain? Motion carried. Item number 5, public hearing. Public hearing request for the proposed amendment to the City of Socorro Master Plan and rezoning of Lot 31, North Loop Acres subdivision located at 612 Hesse Drive, Socorro, Texas, from R1 single-family residential to R2 medium-density residential to allow for a multi-family dwelling units. Chairman, Mr. Arroyos?
Good afternoon, everybody. We will open public hearing at 5:32.
Ms. Judith, I have Luis Rena on the Zoom.
Okay.
Luis René de Soto.
Thank you. Mr. Arroyos?
Good afternoon, Mr. Luis.
Mr. De Stefano is here for another item on the
For
agenda.
another item? Okay, so we can close this one, right?
Okay.
So we will close public hearing at 5:33.
Thank you. Item number 6, consider and take action on the approval of proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's Master Plan and rezoning of Lot 31, North Loop Acres subdivision located at 612 Hesse Drive, Socorro, Texas, from R1 single-family residential to R2 medium-density residential, to allow for multi-family dwelling units. Mr. Botello?
Good evening, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Jose Botello, planner with the City of Socorro. Item number 6 on the agenda is the rezoning request at 612 Hesse Drive. Alrighty, and so some general info on this rezoning request. The lot size is 0.273 acres, which is about 11,891 square feet. The zoning, it's currently R1, single-family residential. The lot is currently vacant. The future land use map listed this property as single-use residential. And so for the summary of the request, the applicant is requesting for approval of a rezoning from R1 to R2 to allow for 2 multi-family dwellings. And planning and zoning staff recommends approval of a single duplex. And so in the location map, you'll see that the property is situated along Hesse Drive within the vicinity of North Loop. And then in the zoning map, you'll see the property outlined in red. The yellow denotes the R1 single-family residential zoning district, followed by a couple of pictures of the property that were taken from Hesse Drive. And as you can see, the property is currently vacant. And then you can see that as well from the aerial view of the property, followed by a zoning map of the North Loop Acres subdivision showing the different zoning designations for the properties within North Loop Acres. And this is a recorded plat for North Loop Acres. This Subdivision was recorded back in April of 1956. There's 47 lots in total within the subdivision. 41 of those are residential, 4 of those are commercial, and at the moment, there's currently 5 vacant lots. And this is a map showing the properties that were notified of the rezoning for this property, followed by the letters that were sent to the constituents. And the site plan that was presented by the applicant showing the multifamily dwellings within the property. You can see that, you can vaguely see the ponding area at the very top, and then the units in the middle with the parking right along Hesse Drive. And so the summary of the request is for approval of a rezoning from R1 to R2 to allow for 2 multifamily dwellings. And at this time, staff can answer any questions.
I have some questions. So they're requesting for like 2 duplexes, but staff is recommending for 1 duplex.
Yes, sir, correct.
Okay. I don't have any questions.
Did any of the neighbors come up to speak in regards to it?
So we didn't receive, I know, I believe we have some constituents present for the,
I'd like to speak a little bit. Can we please?
Like to make a motion to open it up for public
did you guys want to?
comment?
Yes. Yes, I'll second.
Do we have motion to open? Okay. Do we have a second?
Mr. Rodriguez is
I have a motion made by Mr. Enrique Cisneros to open discussion, seconded by Andrew Arroyos. All those in favor of the motion?
second. Aye.
Motion carried.
Don't get nervous, we're here to help, so.
You can state your name, please, or
Hi, my name is Monica Estrada. I'm here on behalf of my father, Daniel Zuniga, who resides next to the lot that is being proposed for this duplex. And one of his main concerns is, of course, the amount of people, traffic that is going to be coming in and out of the place. Also, if there's going to be an impact on his property taxes, and just crime in general. It's a very peaceful area to live in, and he's been there for most of his life, and it's just a big concern having a duplex or apartments, whatever the case is. But that's his main concern. Is it government funded? Is it for low-income families? He's not in agreement with the proposed plan, but I guess that's just some of the questions and concerns that we have at this time.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I have a couple of questions as well.
do we have to
Close.
We'll close public hearing at 5:39.
Thank you. We continue with the,
So you stated there was 4 commercial lots in the area, right? Are those off of North Loop, I'm assuming?
Yes, sir. You can see, let me head towards that slide. So the commercial properties are the red and the pink that you see, that's along North Loop Drive. And then the black lots are property of TxDOT, where they assign the ponding areas for North Loop.
Okay. Is there any other duplexes in the area or any other apartment buildings or something like that within that area?
I
Or is
guess
that the only R2?
based on our zoning map, we don't have any, but I mean unofficially, we there may be.
I'm ready to make a motion.
I just want to say that the applicant's asking for a quadplex, and I know that the concerns are for traffic or whatnot, so they're, planning and zoning is still asking them not to do a fourplex, just to do one duplex, just so you guys understand that. Okay, I don't have any questions.
I'd like to make a motion to approve, as per staff recommendations, approval for one single duplex.
I second.
I have a motion made by Enrique Cisneros to approve with staff recommendation approval for one single duplex, seconded by Andrew Arroyos. All those in favor of the motion? Any nays? Anyone abstain? Motion carry. Moving on to item number 7. Public hearing request for the proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's master plan and rezoning of Lot 2, Block 1, Horizon subdivision located at 200 Horizon Boulevard, Socorro, Texas, from M1 light industrial to C2 general commercial to allow for a commercial development. Mr. Sherman?
Afternoon, we open public hearing at 5:42.
We don't have any speakers, sir, for this public hearing.
We will close at 5:42.
Item number 8, consider and take action for the proposed amendment to the City of Socorro master plan and rezoning of Lot 2, Block 1, Horizon subdivision located at 200 Horizon Boulevard, Socorro, Texas, from M1 light industrial to C2 general commercial to allow for a commercial development. Mr. Botello?
Good evening, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Jose Botello, planner with the City of Socorro. Item number 8 on the agenda is the rezoning request at 200 Horizon Boulevard. So some general information on this request. The property owner and representative, Mr. Luis De Stefano, he's also present via Zoom in the meeting. And the lot size is 0.648 acres, which is about 28,232 square feet. The current zoning for the property is M1, which is light industrial. The property is currently vacant. The future land use map listed this area as commercial. And the summary of the request is for approval of a rezoning of a property from M1 to C2 to allow for a commercial development. And planning and zoning staff recommends approval of the rezoning request. And so in the location map, you'll notice that the property is right along Horizon Boulevard, very close to the middle drain. And you'll see the property outlined in red. The purple is the M1 zoning district that is currently with the property. And then as you can see, the property is currently vacant. These pictures were taken from right along Horizon Boulevard. And the aerial image also confirming that the lot is vacant currently. And then followed by the public notice map that shows you that which properties were notified for this rezoning request, and the letters that were sent out to the constituents within the area in both English and Spanish. And then in the site plan, you'll see the light gray trapezoid is the shopping center that they're trying to establish with the parking spaces, and then you can see towards the right side the pawning area and the driveway entrance from Horizon Boulevard. And so once again, the request is for approval of a rezoning from M1 to C2 to allow for a commercial development. And at this time, staff can answer any questions.
Mr. Arroyos? I'd like to abstain. I have a property that abuts to there, so just to make sure that there's no perception of impropriety, I'm going to abstain on this item.
I don't have any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second? I have a motion made by Osvaldo Reza to approve, seconded by Julie Dominguez. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any nay? Anyone abstain?
Abstain.
Motion carried. Moving on to item number 9, public hearing request for the proposed amendment to the City of Socorro Master Plan and rezoning of lots 30 and 32, Block 3, Valle Nuevo Unit 1 subdivision located at 1055 and 1069 Nuevo Hueco Tanks Boulevard, Socorro, Texas, from R2 medium density residential to C2 general commercial to allow for a commercial development. Mr. Sherman?
Good afternoon. We will open public hearing at 5:46.
We don't have speakers.
We'll close again at 5:46.
Item number 10, consider and take action on the approval of a proposed amendment to the City of Socorro's master plan and rezoning of lots 32 and 30, Block 3, Valle Nuevo Unit 1 subdivision located at 1055 and 1069 Nuevo Hueco Tanks Boulevard, Socorro, Texas, from R2 medium density residential to C2 general commercial to allow for a commercial development. Mr. Botello?
Good evening, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Jose Boteo, planner with the City of Socorro. Item number 10 is a rezoning request at 1055 and 1069 Nuevo Hueco Tanks Boulevard. And so some general information on this request. The both lots equal 2.25 acres. The zoning for the properties is currently R2, which is medium density residential. Both lots are currently vacant. The future land use map listed this area as agricultural land, and the summary of the request is for approval of a rezoning of a property from R2 to C2 to allow for a commercial development. And planning and zoning staff recommend approval of this rezoning request. And so you'll see the property is currently located on a portion of Nuevo Hueco Tanks. It's very close to our city limits. And you'll see the property outlined in red with the orange signaling the R2 medium density residential zoning district. And these are pictures taken from the property along Nuevo Hueco Tanks Boulevard. Both lots are currently empty. And then you can see the aerial. This is not the most recent aerial, but you can see there's a portion of a street which is Nuevo Hueco Tanks. This is within a very new subdivision, Valle Nuevo subdivision. And the public notice map showing the properties that would be notified for this rezoning request, followed by the letters that were sent in both English and Spanish, and then followed by the site plan, so you can see more or less what the developers are trying to do for this commercial development. 2 shopping centers situated between a ponding area for Nuevo Hueco Tanks Boulevard. And once again, the summary is for approval of rezoning of a property from R2 to C2 to allow for a commercial development. And at this time, staff can answer any questions.
Question, this one is already in accordance with the extension of the Nuevo Hueco Tanks Road, right? It's
Yes, sir, correct.
fit into that?
Mhm.
I'm ready to make a motion. Nobody has any questions? I'd like to make a motion to approve as per staff recommendations.
I second.
I have a motion made by Enrique Cisneros to approve as per staff recommendation, seconded by Andrew Arroyos. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any nay? Anyone abstain? Motion carried. Item 11, consider and take action on the approval of proposed replat for Haciendas del Valle Unit 2, replat F, being a replat of lots 9 through 11, Block 1, Haciendas del Valle, Unit 2, Socorro, Texas. Mr. Botello?
Good evening, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Item 11 on the agenda is the Haciendas del Valle Unit 2 Replat F. So the property owner and representative is Mr. Juan Artalejo. He's currently present at this meeting. The lot size is 1.4 acres. The zoning for the properties for the replat is R1, which is single-family residential. The current land use is residential slash vacant. You'll see in the aerials, there's currently one residence in the properties. And the future land use map listed this area as single-family residential. And so the summary of the request is for approval of a replat for Haciendas del Valle Unit 2 Replat F. And Planning and Zoning staff recommends approval of the replat for Haciendas del Valle Unit 2 Replat F. And so you can see in this location map that the property is situated along Valle Buena Vida. And there's the three properties that are being replatted, followed by the zoning map showing the 3 lots within the red area, currently zoned R1. These are some pictures taken of the property. The top picture shows one of the lots which currently has a residential home. The bottom picture shows both lots right next to each other. They're currently vacant. Followed by the aerial image. You can kind of see the residence in the lot closer to the curb. And then this is the original plat for Haciendas del Valle. The area in red shows where these properties are situated. And then followed by the preliminary plat. And the final plat showing the 3 lots being split to have 6 lots in total. And so once again, the summary of the request is for approval of a replat for Haciendas del Valle Unit 2 Replat F. And at this time, staff can answer any questions.
I've got a question, sorry. So it looks like they're all at least 10,000 square feet except one, right? Lot 3?
Yes.
Is that why we have to go from, I mean, I understand we're going from 3 lots to 6, but for all intents and purposes, they're all over 10,000 with the exception of one. And the only reason we can't cut into the other ones is because where the property is, right? I mean, where there's an existing building.
Yes, and thank you for seeing that. The applicant did request a variance for that specific lot as it doesn't comply with the 10,000 square feet. My apologies, that was not listed on the report, but it is. It was submitted to our department.
And then the other lots that are across the street, those are all 10,000 plus, or what are those?
I believe they're a little bit over.
But they all kind of stay within the spirit of the neighborhood where they're all 10,000 plus, right? I mean.
Yes, sir, correct.
And the only reason we need the variance is because there's already a building on one of them, right? Okay. Those are my questions. And I'm ready to make a motion. If anybody doesn't have any questions. Make a motion to approve as per staff recommendations
I'll second.
with the variance that we need for that one lot.
I have a motion made by Enrique Cisneros to approve as per staff recommendation and variance, seconded by Osvaldo Reza. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nay? Anyone abstain? Motion carried. Item 12, consider and take action on the approval of proposed replat for GECU subdivision, Unit 2, Replat A, being a replat of Lot 4A, Block 1, GECU subdivision, Unit 2, amending replat, and a portion of Lot 2, Block 1, North Loop Commercial Park, Replat B, amending subdivision. Socorro, Texas. Mr. Botello?
Good evening, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Item number 12 on the agenda is the GECU subdivision Unit 2 Replat A. And so some general information on this replat. The lot size for both properties is 1.415 acres. The current zoning designation for the properties is C2, which is general commercial. The current land use is commercial. The future land use map listed this area as commercial as well. And the summary of the request is for approval of a replat for GECU subdivision unit 2, replat A. And so planning and zoning staff recommends approval of the replat for GECU subdivision unit 2, replat A. And so in the location map, you'll see the property is situated right along North Loop. This is within the area where the Peter Piper is situated. And then followed by the zoning map showing the both lots within the yellow outline, currently zone C2. And then this is a picture of the property taken from North Loop. This is where the GECU branch is located. And then you'll see the aerial image. So the applicants are trying to combine both lots to have the additional existing parking spaces for the GECU. And so this is the original plat for the GECU subdivision unit 2. And then followed by the preliminary plat showing the current GECU branch and the extra parking spaces, followed by the replat showing the lots. And so the summary of the request is for approval of replat for GECU subdivision unit 2, replat A. And at this time, staff can answer any questions.
I'm ready to make a motion.
Yep,
Motion to approve.
I second.
I have a motion made by Enrique Cisneros to approve, seconded by Andrew Arroyos. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any nay? Anyone abstain? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Item 13, Planning and Zoning Commissioners Report.
I do have something to report. The Business Leaders Committee, led by Jose Quinones, is having a social mixture from 6 to 8 at the Dusty Tap. So I recommend if you can make it out there, a bunch of small business owners that reside and have their businesses in Socorro will be out there to social and mingleize. And
What is this?
first drink is on me, right after this. So, we'll see you guys there.
Any other report?
I have something I'd like to bring up, is now that we have all these new developments coming up in the area of North Loop and Horizon, is that I think that now either planning and zoning needs to look at the traffic that is coming out of the Walgreens, from the Food King, and we're having the crisscross, and we're having the this way. And so it gets to be a real bad bottleneck, especially if we're coming from that direction. So I don't know if there's any way that traffic can put up some kind of temporary, the post that you use, so where these cars can't come this way or these cars can't go that way, where you get all that mix there, because I mean, you have near misses all the time when you're coming up Horizon, because people are coming all the way from the Walgreens exit, trying to cross over to the medium, trying to go south. And then you've got everybody from the Food King parking area coming out, trying to cross over this way, going north on Horizon. And then you've got the cars that are coming this way, and these cars are stuck. These cars are stuck because they can't turn, these can't turn. So that, I think, is something that either we should look at and see what can be done there to eliminate some of the bottlenecks. And then I have the right in front of the GCU. So if you come out of the Walgreens and you go east, okay, out of the parking lot in front of the Peter Piper Pizza, you have to cross over North Loop to come back this way, because we can't go off that Walgreens exit to go down Horizon. It's just very dangerous. But you have a portion of medium that is there that it's yellow stripes, so number one, you're not supposed to cross over, can't cross this way, can't cross that way. But you end up getting stuck in there to make a U-turn to come back. There is no crossover, in other words, to make it safe for people to come either west or to even go east on North Loop. When you're coming out of the Peter Piper, there's, so you have, because there's no it's okay to turn here. There's no going in and trying to get out. So maybe we should look at something there where traffic can see if there's another safety way to handle that. And then I did put in a request for speed zones down on Horizon. I did get one speed zone, 35 miles going south, but there are no more. So if you miss that first speed limit sign as you turn into the curve, that's it. And I think the reason I had put that in there was to slow down the traffic so that those of us that live in that cul-de-sac that is right behind the Food King, is that we have time to get out, because you sit there for a long time to this traffic going and this traffic coming. So I only got one sign and it's going south. There's no signs coming north, so you get people that are going 60, 70, and at 2 a.m. they're racing. So I think that we should go back and look at that and see what happened there. And I know that Mr. Cisneros had put in a request for the
So-
Alameda problem.
Yes, so we have a building, right, our office is in that shopping center where Crucero is, and we have the building across the street. And you're absolutely right. Right, I think the elevation goes down from North Loop to Socorro.
Yeah.
And it's on a curve, so, you know,
Yeah.
we're in a cinder block building, and we can hear the cars just
Yes.
just drive by. 3 months ago, somebody ran into the building and took out our fence.
Right.
And they went on the other side of traffic. So, yeah, the traffic
I
is
think
crazy
they're-
on going south from North
Yeah.
Loop to Alameda.
Yeah.
Is that text dot right away, or is it Socorro?
No, that's Socorro.
That's Socorro?
That's Socorro.
Yeah,
I've already checked.
now, the thing is, I know that we are in the middle of the master plan for the development, and TxDOT has a plan for that intersection all on North Loop and Horizon.
And Horizon.
So I know that they're working on that, and they're in the middle of it, and, I mean, it's gonna be some time, but I know that it's part of the future land use, and I'll let Ms. Kimito talk more about it.
No, you're right. The North Loop study, feasibility study is still in the work. We don't have a final yet.
Yeah.
Would have to go back to look at the calendar to see when that's coming.
Yeah.
And they will likely be starting.
And in the plans, they are making adjustments for the turning lanes, all on North Loop and on Horizon. A personal suggestion that I was thinking of is, we added the walking lanes on Passmore for the Mission Trail development. I know that they had added the yellow reflector strips that showed the new, I don't know, they're not quite sidewalks, more like barriers.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could add those on the new Horizon. From Horizon, from North Loop, for all those new medians, I don't know if we can add those to identify them more, because you can see where the median's been eaten up by the
cars
wheels
are
hitting
hitting.
them. And maybe we could do the same on North Loop. Now, I do understand that is TxDOT. I don't know if we can send them up the chain and ask if we can add those to, make it much more easily definable between the medians,
Right.
so that could make it easier, but that,
Right, and then I guess another thing is when we do have the mediums that go up, the one that is going down south on Horizon is that the landscaping is beginning to be a problem, because they're not little 2-3 foot bushes, you're talking about trees. So when you're trying to cross from Holman over across to the other side of Horizon, you can't see oncoming
They
traffic.
do
You have to
obstruct the
really
view.
look.
yeah.
And if you have a small car, you can't see it. If you see a big truck, yeah, you can see it. But because of the landscaping that they put in, it's not feasible for us that drive that area, is that you can't see those cars coming or going, So maybe we should detour from putting trees in our medians and putting bushes. You know,
Trees look nice though. but
they
yeah.
do look nice, but you can't see my
It-
cars.
And I think that could be a referral for
Public Works.
Public Works, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll also add up a little bit there, when it comes to the speed humps and the crosswalks. Speed humps, they're great, but if they're not painted, people will not see them. They will always knock off their oil pan there 2, 3 in the morning. You can't see them. So if they're not painted, they're no good. They're just gonna create an accident. And then same thing with the crosswalks on Buford. I go through there a whole lot. People are jiggling and jaggling, especially on events of where to cross through unless they look at the sign, because they're not painted, you know, and the paint on the ground helps a whole lot. So if they can repaint those speed humps so that people on traffic can actually see them and not jump over them or brake right before them. I mean, now that we're talking about traffic control, but that'll definitely help, per se, on all these smaller communities, because they're not painted whatsoever.
that's all I have.
Thank you.
Who else wants to add speed?
Item 14, Planning and Zoning Department report. Ms. Kimino?
Thank you, Judith. Our big project for planning and zoning is the comprehensive plan, so we're in the final stretches of final approval. We would like to take that to final approval to City Council in July, so that would be taking it to you all for your recommendation, also at the beginning of July. The next community meeting is June 17th. We are tentatively scheduled to have it here at 6 PM, and we're working with the consulting company, Matrix Group, to have a presentation to Planning and Zoning and City Council that week. So we're still trying to work that out so that we can have enough time to look at the material and everyone give our input and ask questions. But I would love as much participation on the community meeting on the 17th. And we're working with our communications team to have as much information out there as we can prior to that meeting on the 17th.
And how does the community get invited, or how do they find out?
So if they've been participating or have participated in any part of the planning so far, they will receive an email. They signed up to get the notifications via email. We also have all of our social media outlets, Facebook and Instagram. And then the word of mouth of our committee members. So that would also be a really great way for us to communicate with the public and getting the word out for people to participate.
Okay.
Thank you. That was all.
Thank you. Item number 15, consider and take action on the adjournment of this meeting. Do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
I have a motion made by Andrew Arroyos to adjourn, seconded by Osvaldo Reza. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Any nay? Anyone abstain? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned at 6:09 PM. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
He wanted to go party.